Hello students, today in your algebra class we're going to be exploring quadratics. So at the end of this lesson you should be able to determine how a parabola is affected and determine if it has a max or min. Now the max of a graph or maximum of a graph is the point on the parabola where it is at its peak or the maximum value. The minimum of a graph or min is the point in a parabola where it is at its value or the minimum value. The vertex is the highest or lowest point of a parabola, so essentially the max or the min. And the axis of symmetry, which is the last one we're going to add, is the line that makes the parabola symmetrical. So, just a quick note on how to graph quadratics. In order for us to graph quadratics, we need to take the value and plug in some points. So here we have graph y equals x squared. So we're going to pick 5 points. So -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. You always want to pick values that are positive, negative, and include 0. So when we substitute -2 into x squared, it's -2 squared, which is 4. And then -1 squared is 1. 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4. So we're going to go ahead and plot these points really quick. We have -2, 4, so to the left 2 and up 4. Then we have -1, 1, 0, 1, or 0, 0, 1, 1, and 2, 4. So if we connect the dots on this, we'll get a parabola like so. Remember, it goes on infinitely long, so we have to do the arrowheads. Now, it says to identify the vertex. Now, the vertex here is going to be the point at the very, very bottom or the very, very top. So in this instance, we actually have our vertex right here. So our vertex is 0, 0. Now our axis of symmetry is the line that we can draw to cut this thing in half. And that axis of symmetry will typically go through the vertex. So in this instance, it's this line right here. I'm going to say the AOS, axis of symmetry, is x equals 0. Because that's the equation of a line for the axis of symmetry. Notice it goes through the vertex at 0 as well. So the same thing for 2x squared. We're going to pick some values. We'll say -2, -1, 0, 1, and 2. So when we do this, -2 squared is 4, times 2 is 8. -1 squared is 1, times 2 is 2. This becomes 0, this becomes 2, and 8. So when we plot these particular values, we have -2, 8, -1, 2, 0, 0, 1, 2, and 2, 8. So again, we're going to graph this line. And our vertex, again, is at our minimum. So our vertex is at 0, 0. And our axis of symmetry, or AOS, is x equals 0 as well. So now we're going to place some match. Using what we know and from our exploration, we have y equals x squared, which should be the basic graph. So that is going to be this guy. Y equals 3x squared. Now, as we know, when numbers get... let's try that again. When a number gets larger, that means it's going to have it's going to get more narrow. So if we look at the top graph and the bottom graph, the one that's more narrow would be the top one. which means that y equals x squared must be the bottom one because it's a little bit wider, and y equals x squared plus 2 must be the middle because it's shifted up by 2. So for each of these, we want to identify the vertex and whether or not it has a max or a min. So you'll notice that our vertex is here, here, and here. In all of these cases, we have a min because they're all going upwards, and they have a minimum point because this is the lowest it could go. So the vertex for all of them is actually 0, 0. Now it's your turn. Try these 3 problems and write them down on your notes. We'll take a look at them tomorrow. That's all for now. See you guys next time.